Hello YouTubers, RogueMonkeyJr here. So just yesterday, a lot of Firestorm info dropped. So a gameplay trailer, a lot of the EA game changers actually got to play Firestorm at a test session, I think last week or the week before, at the DICE Studios in Sweden. So with all of that combined, we got quite a bit of information on Firestorm. Now the trailer was actually pretty fun, and I watched more gameplay from other YouTubers, and Firestorm looks like it has a lot of promise if they keep it updated. The trailer looked really good. I especially liked the swim wagon, I think it's called, the prototype helicopter. I mean, helicopters in Battlefield, I feel like it's just a staple, and the fact that we've had two historical wars back to back that didn't really have helicopters or prototype helicopters in them, I feel like it's been missing from Battlefield for the past few years. And of course, the almighty tractor, with which I feel there will be a lot of memes around once Firestorm releases on March 25th, so that's like Monday. The Firestorm looks absolutely awesome. That it destroys everything is just fantastic. Of course, with the Frostbite engine, you got a lot of awesome visuals and destructibility and all this environment that can just crumble with the Firestorm. That looks pretty damn cool. I definitely can't wait to play it with my friends on Monday. I see that they also went with a weapon system that's a little bit more like Fortnite, so each weapon has a different tier of rarity. As opposed to having attachments that you can then put on your weapon, which they have different varying tiers of rarity. So they went the simple route to just have weapons that have already attachments on them. They also have this armor plate system, which I'm much more of a fan of than PUBG's traditional armor system, which if your armor's busted, you have to pick up a new one. The way that they have it in Battlefield V Firestorm is you pick up a carrying vest that can carry armor plates, some from 1 to 3 or 4, I believe, and then you pick up the armor plates and you can switch them out if some of your armor plates have been damaged. And it's literally just a buff to your health. It's not damage mitigation as like in PUBG. It is literally a buff to your health. So you already start with 150 hit points in Battlefield V Firestorm, and each plate gives you, I don't know the specifics on this, I think it's about 25, but yeah, each armor plate gives you 25 extra damage that you can take before actually being knocked down. Talking about knockdown, while you're knocked in Battlefield V Firestorm, you can pull out your pistol or your knife and shoot enemies or murder people with your knife. I mean, cut their ankles off, not too sure. But yeah, you can still kind of defend yourself while you're in the down state. You can only fire off one mag, so if you're stuck with a secondary weapon like the Liberator, then you're pretty much shit out of luck. But if you have something a little bit more powerful like the M1911, then you can maybe kill an enemy that's coming to finish you off. I do feel, however, that this will be maybe a little bit annoying if there's two enemies like down next to each other and they're just going to try thirsting each other with the knife. It's either going to lead to some hilarious moments or a lot of frustration, so I think they're really going to need to keep their eyes on that. I'm not a fan, however, of the loot, how the loot drops out of an enemy, how it just like they just shit it out everywhere like Fortnite style. I'd much rather have the nice clean box where you can just open up the inventory, sort through whatever you want, grab whatever you want, and then you just leave, as opposed to having to look at each individual piece of equipment on the ground. So maybe there's a little bit of remodeling or reiterating that you could do on that. Also, the HUD/UI for the items in your inventory, I feel like it's a little bit too big and a little bit too convoluted. I would much rather have, like, you see your weapons and ammo for each type of weapon, but that's it, not all this different crap on there. Unless you can maybe make it smaller, I wouldn't mind that, but I feel like it takes up a pretty large part of the screen, so I'm not a fan of that. Also, I'm still a little bit on the fence about vehicles. Maybe not as much in squads, because you will have other people to help you take out those vehicles that are heavily armored, especially the heavily armored ones. But in solos, I think it's going to be pretty difficult to maybe take out vehicles by yourself. So I'm not quite sure how it's going to balance out on solos. I personally think that having heavy vehicles in Battlefield V Firestorm, solos doesn't fit the mode at all. It doesn't fit the BR mode at all, because it's going to be much more enjoyable to play with either somebody else or a full squad of 4 and try and take out the vehicles that way. So I feel like maybe they should ditch the fact that the duo is going to be limited time mode, put that a regular mode, also have squads, and then solos be a limited time mode or not have it at all, because I don't think it's going to fit that well with the heavily armored vehicles in Battlefield V Firestorm, especially considering that to commandeer a large part of the vehicles that have weapons on them, you're going to need to seat swap all the time, which I feel is going to be annoying. So not sold on the idea of having solos in Firestorm, but then again, that's my own personal opinion. I'll have to wait and try it out to see how it actually all balances out. If you just get destroyed by somebody that has a vehicle because you can't take them out quick enough, or if it's actually pretty well balanced in that sense for vehicle versus infantry gameplay. They also have these different caches that you can get, so you can unlock safes to get awesome gear. You can call in supply drops, call in vehicles, go to the vehicle caches, which you have to open. They take a lot of time to open, but they more than likely will give you a very good vehicle that'll give you a better chance at winning. And you can also capture points within the Firestorm map to get awesome equipment, like really rare weapons or really rare vehicles. So that's a nice addition and a nice new fresh take on something in the BR genre. But yeah, I don't want to ramble on too much. I mean, I haven't played Firestorm yet, so I can't form a fully fleshed out opinion. Right now it's just impressions and what I think the game mode's going to play out like. From what I've heard, games are going to be around 18 to 22 minutes, which isn't that bad considering that PUBG can have matches all the way up to 35 minutes, with the mid-game being pretty damn slow. As for Apex, it's a little bit more close to the 15 to 18 minute mark, so it's a lot more fast-paced and there's a lot less downtime. So if it's between the two, I'm fine with that, but generally speaking, BRs tend to have a very slow mid-game, which makes it incredibly boring and repetitive and just drags out the game too much. It's also going to depend how fast the Firestorm actually moves in the different stages. So if it's quicker, then the mid-game won't be as boring. And I hope that the circle is going to be very, very dangerous to be in, and that people just can't camp in it. So anyways, I'm going to be playing that on Monday, releasing a fully fleshed out review of Firestorm, hopefully, if everything goes well. Currently, when I play Battlefield 5, it just crashes without giving me any error messages, so that's incredibly frustrating. So fingers crossed that won't happen with Firestorm on Monday. But yeah, that's pretty much it for my first impressions. I really enjoyed the trailer. Everything looked like a lot of fun, a little bit of refining here and there. Hopefully they will support the Firestorm mode and not just drop it as is and leave it like that for the foreseeable future. Because what's keeping games alive, I feel, especially BR games, is the constant updating and addition of new things, or changing the map and different locations on the map, or adding new maps. I feel like that is what keeps BR fresh for people. So something they're going to need to look into, because they haven't spoken about anything being added to Firestorm after it launches. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you are excited for Firestorm to have something new to experience in Battlefield 5 as opposed to the maps and content that we've had since launch, yeah, I'll be down there reading your comments. So if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and keep your eyes peeled for Firestorm videos next week. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.